Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin. I am back in Majula because, well, I've collected the final two Estus Flask shards that I've been missing. One was, of course, something we got in the previous episode, and the other one was the Shrine of Amana one, where I died right before getting to it. So I got that off screen, so we have all 12 Estus Flasks now, even though they're not fully upgraded because I've only found 2 Sublime Bone Dusts so far, but I think there's at least one in the DLCs somewhere. Actually, I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, it's going to be going to the Iron Keep today because it is time to tackle DLC number 2. Honestly, I feel a lot more confident having 12 Estus Flasks and getting to the DLCs. I think this should be overall a lot easier. So gonna head down and up we go. Well, actually, this is not up. Well, there is an elevator, but whatever. I have the key. I have the key to all the DLCs now. Oh, yeah, of course, I forgot about him. And the other thing I forgot about is I have the Ring of Binding equipped, which I really don't need. And I don't really need the Royal Soldier, which I used to have, but honestly, I have nothing better than the Royal Soldier. We might as well give ourselves some extra stamina. I am eventually gonna put my shield and my bow and arrow back. Especially my bow and arrow because it's kind of useful for this DLC. Useful in a lot of places. I still only have this thing up to +7. Oh yeah, and people have pointed out in the previous episode in the comments that I actually miscalculated with the stats I need. I'm missing 2 points of dexterity because I actually need 42 dexterity to dual wield the katanas because the dark drift needs 28. So basically, yeah, I kind of miscalculated there, but as soon as I get enough souls to gain 2 levels, which shouldn't be that difficult in this DLC, I am gonna level my dex up because I haven't done much dual wielding. Sorry about that yawn. That's gonna sound shit on the microphone. I haven't done much dual wielding throughout all my playthroughs. Even though the dual wielded katana moveset I think doesn't actually look that good. It should be fun to try out. It will be nice to have 2 katanas. Because I'm not using my shield that often. Well, here we go. Almost at Brume Tower. I love the entrance to this DLC. Really atmospheric. I like the really abandoned feeling you get from all the DLCs. That's kind of cool. And we have the smelter wedges, which will be used up. I'm not gonna collect all 12 pieces of Nadalia's soul, but I will destroy all the ones that I need to destroy. I love how you can basically look at where you're gonna be going. And of course, stretched out across the landscape there. That's really cool. Where is this place exactly? You looks like we're on another planet. Who knows? Just don't want to fall off. That's the most important thing. Here we go, Brume Tower. Not that difficult of a DLC, this area. But still, we have some challenges to get through. The bosses here are definitely the hardest. This DLC has the most difficult boss in the game, and that's proven by statistics. It's the Fume Knight. And again, there was this thing released by, I think, the devs on which boss players died to the most, and it was of course the Fume Knight. He's ridiculously difficult, I will say that. But hopefully we'll be able to conquer him. The most difficult thing about him, I think, is that he takes no damage against anything. I think he's weak to dark, but that's about it. So your damage output is always going to be an issue. And we can also see Sir Alon's armor down there. Which again is pretty cool, because you know you'll be going there later. Anyways, we're gonna be descending. Enemies in this DLC. See, that's the one thing I don't like in general about all three of the DLCs. You'll see what in a second. It's basically the fact that all of the enemies in all three of the DLCs are basically the same. Like armored knights, armored hollow knights with quite a bit of stamina and like some sort of weapon. Whether they have the ice rapier or dual axes or the sanctum mace, you basically fight them the same way. That's kind of disappointing. Holy shit, the counter. Yeah, this weapon deals like way too much damage. Fuck. I didn't think I would be dying this early. I just completely mistimed my dodge there. They do delay their attacks quite a bit. But anyways, let's not repeat that too much. I guess I'll put on the Ring of Binding, because why not? I still have 25 humanities, so, or human effigies, so I'm not going to be running out anytime soon. But still, it's nice to have a backup. That's what the Ring of Binding essentially is. Like, delaying having to waste a human effigy as much as you can. Didn't know these guys drop charcoal pine resin. That's kind of cool. These guys actually do drop weapons, but the unfortunate thing is that they don't drop like their weapons. They drop generic versions of the battle axe and I think the halberd and things like that. Another charcoal pine resin. This is an ambush. The only unique weapon they drop is the Ashen Knight sword, I think, which is kind of a bleed weapon. Really interesting that these guys would have a bleed weapon. I think it's one of the better bleed weapons in the game, aside from the fact that bleed builds are pretty shit in Dark Souls 2. But I've talked about that before. This should contain a Titanite slab. Probably gonna be using this on my bow and arrow because I already have a Titanite slab for the Dark Drift. Anyways, I'm coming down here because this is actually the easier path to take, I think. Because if you go down that ladder there, you actually have to fight a pretty bad ambush because of that Nadalia statue. And here, if you go down this way, you can kind of give yourself more space. Let's see if you can get a... I think I've done that before too, where I try to do the plunging attack and it just doesn't work no matter what you do. So... gotta remember not to attempt that again. See, the thing is, if you come down the other way, the statue activates and it puts like this iron flesh buff on these enemies, which makes it a lot harder to deal with them. Here, if you go this way, you only have to deal with this one guy. Holy shit, I'm dealing a lot of damage even there. Then, with the buff. Yeah, this is like kind of insane. I always destroyed this one too. I destroyed the first two, and then I saved the smelter wedges for the ones before the boss fight. So I don't have to go out of my way to collect more wedges. This weapon has surprisingly good stun on it too. Like, you wouldn't expect to stun these guys with a katana. Dance of Fire, one of the new pyromancies. This DLC has pyromancies. Some pretty good ones too. I think like 3. This Dance of Fire is... I think this is the one that goes straight. It's like a pillar of flame that travels straight and has a bit of homing. I know the other one is called Outcry, the one you get from Nadalia's soul. But as for what the third one is, I don't know the name, but it's the one that travels from the side. Oh, shit. Didn't think these guys could do dropping attacks like that. Or plunging attacks, whatever. We're making actually pretty good progress here. One of these should be... yeah, Old Radiant Life Gem and Wilted Dust Curve. And this one is the one that lets you rearrange your stats, I think. Yeah, Soul Vessel, that's what it's called. 2 of them too. These can be useful if you want to try different builds. But honestly, as it stands right now, I am pretty happy with this build. Of course, katanas, as everyone knows, are pretty OP even still. This is where it gets kind of, well, not annoying I would say, but a bit more challenging. Huh, why didn't he blow up? I'm scared to go there. Yeah, I knew it, the fucker. Blew up right as I was walking by. Anyways, we have plenty of flasks and we are not far away from the second bonfire. What I would like to do is lure this guy into the fire. Come on, go. Go. Shit. Blows up at the worst times possible. That dealt a lot. That almost killed me. The blue tear stone is honestly what saved me there, probably. Whatever. We only have a few enemies to get through. See, this is... The DLCs become a lot easier when you know... Well, this game in general becomes a lot easier when you know what to expect. See, because the first time you're coming through here, you have no idea when you're gonna be seeing the next bonfire. So it's like extra difficult to get through because you're constantly worried about how many Estus flasks you'll be using up. This is a Castus, isn't it? Yep. And this isn't the red one, is it? Because I know there is actually a red Castus. Or there used to be one. No, this isn't the red one. They probably had that in a Medulla chest. Did they? I don't know. They had a couple of like alternate colored weapons. But those aren't available anymore. With the releases of the DLC, that's when they had it. Anyways, of course, here we go with the second bonfire. And we can make a bit more progress. Coming up is probably the most difficult section of this journey here. I wouldn't say of the DLC because you still have the boss to deal with. Oh, not this way. This section right here is actually pretty damn difficult. I got through here easily actually the first time I came through the DLC, but I have had struggles with it since. Here you can actually break. Oh, did they fix it? Oh no, they didn't. I was worried for a second. Because it is kind of weird that you can break the pots through the door, but whatever. I think you can sometimes hit these guys. Yes. You want to take as many of them out as you can, because again, you have a Nadalia statue to deal with that has that Iron Flesh buff. Why do I keep saying bluff? Iron Flesh buff. And that's probably the most annoying thing that can happen because it increases their defense and their poise. And it's good at stopping your offense. Plus you have the huge Iron Golem to deal with. I just call it an Iron Golem. I don't know what the official name is. You want to kill these guys because if they drop down there with the enemies, it just cause trouble. So better to kill them. Don't want to get down there just yet. And I know some people might consider this cheap, just like sniping them out, but I'd rather use a cheap tactic than like struggle here and keep dying. Let's see if you can hit him as well. Those lag shots work, I tell you. Is it dead? Yes, it is. Oh, hey there. I did not mean to do that. Is it statue not activating? That would be cool. These guys are pretty annoying to fight. They just have a huge hitbox, so it makes dodging pretty hard against them. Flame Quartz Ring. Useful for the... Well, actually not that useful, is it? Because many of the bosses aren't actually fire-based in this DLC. The one that deals the most elemental damage is the fucking blue smelter demon, but I don't plan on fighting that guy anyways, so doesn't really matter. And this is why you can't really sprint through this section the first time around, because you have to pull the statue here, or not statue, this lever here. And the Iron Golem statue would stop you pretty quickly. Okay. These guys I remember being a lot more difficult to deal with. I don't know what's going on. There might be chunks here. No, still no chunks. Still only have one, fucking hell. I have 7 Titanite slabs. Can I knock it down? This sorceress is kind of annoying because she has 2 types of AoEs and both are pretty damaging. Thank you. Wanted to knock it down because there's also an ambush here. I think one pops up behind you. Doesn't he? I seem to remember. Weird. Oh, there it is. I knew you were around here somewhere. I'm getting backstabbed for that. Oh, fuck, there's another one. I completely forgot. You know what? I'm gonna snipe you because I don't care. Ouch. Fuck, I really can't hit it. You're dead. Let's heal up. How am I doing on... still only 17 minutes in? Nice. See, that's the other AoE. Makes it kind of difficult to deal with them. Yeah, because it stuns you when you're in it. I didn't think she would throw it that close. Deals a lot of damage too. Anyways. Heading down. Not gonna face Maldron just yet. I will probably go and do the Maldron section just for the hell of it. But not sure yet. Maldron is pretty damn annoying. And he shows up in the Ivory King too, so we'll have to deal with him anyways. Because there it's actually unavoidable. Well, you can run from him, I think, but not sure how that works out. I just like to fight him and kill him, and that's it. Nothing really down here. I think there might be some treasure at the end, but if there was something important, I'd tell you about it. And here, we have pretty much reached the second bonfire. Extra quickly, it's not even 20 minutes in yet. Yeah, this DLC, once you get through the challenging parts, it's not actually that bad. Probably the second biggest obstacle we're going to be facing are the bosses here. I'm going to head back to Majula, and the 2 things I'm going to get are... Well, first of all, I'm going to see if I can get 2 levels. And secondly, I'm going to head to the Lost Bastille, just to see if I can get some more arrows, because definitely going to be needing them. Always useful to have more around. Oh shit, perfect. That actually works out very well. I'm also gonna stock up on life gems while I'm here. Let's get 14. And now we should be able to... Where is that thing? I went from the wrong way because it's closer to the top here. Excellent. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about when I say the katana dual-wielded moveset is not the most interesting. It's nothing fancy or anything, but I guess it's pretty functional. Plus, of course, you can like wield them separately too. It's really good because you get the shield piercing of Dark Drift. And we're gonna head to Macduff's workshop quickly. Although going back to it, the Dark Drift's piercing thing isn't actually that useful in PvE. It's more in PvP that it comes into hand. You know, with people who like to turtle behind their shields and things like that. You can really catch... Oh shit. I should actually have some souls with me before I go ahead and purchase. Yeah, let's use 2 of these. Why not? That's 10,000. That's a bit much, but... Whatever. Whatever I have left over will just like leave it. And we're gonna get iron arrows. Let's get a nice even number. 400. That should pretty much carry me through the rest of the game. So yeah, this is gonna actually end up being a shorter episode. How much does Dark Drift deal? Yeah, a bit less. It's always gonna deal a bit less than the what you call it, the Chaos Blade, because it's less powerful even at plus 10. But that shouldn't matter because wow, that is quite a bit of damage. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see all of you next time. Goodbye.